Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I've got a little short video for you guys today regarding something that I brought up when I was doing the 10 video. In the video, I talked about a fire starter that you could make with natural materials, locally sourced, and it would burn for like 40 minutes. This dude is one of them. And it's super easy to make. So I'll have to make a video making it. But what this is pine resin that we cover about a third of the bottom, and we'll get it in the heat of the fire over some coals and render all that down until it's tacky, it's melted. And then we take the top, and we'll take a knife, and we just make like super thin little curls. Nothing crazy. And we'll do a hardwood and fat wood, and we just go until we get a decent pile. And we use the thinner ones in combination to some. The ones that you see, I wouldn't like this. Like I wouldn't do that dude. I wouldn't do that guy. But thinner ones we put in there, mixed with the fat wood, and it will take a ferro rod spark much easier than the large ones will. And you can put a few big ones in there. Maybe try to position it where you have all of the small ones in one little area. So if you've made it, you'll say, well, if I keep down here with the sparks from the ferro rod, I have a better chance of getting it lit. And you'll just make a pile of those, and then you'll make a similar sized pile of fat wood shavings. Like I said, keeping them fairly uniform, just because you're going to be putting them into the tin. And once you have a decent amount of both fat wood and hardwood, you'll mix them together. And while this is rendered down, be careful, because that sap will stick to you. But I will use a leaf, and I would lick the leaf and put it on my finger like this, and I would sprinkle it in there where it's melted, and then press it down with my leaf. But you'll eventually pull it up and everything's stuck to it. You'll need to lick it again, or wet a stick into it, because if your stick touches the resin, it'll just stick to it, and you can pull it all out, and it makes a big mess. But once you get enough that it's covered, just start adding more and pressing it down in there. And eventually you can get where you just use your fingers. You won't be touching the resin. You'll just be pushing the stuff into the resin. And then you just sit there and let it dry. And then once it's dry, you have a readily available, awesome fire starter. And something that we found last time, if you poke a hole in one side when you light it, it tends to burn a lot hotter, but it also burns faster. And it'll leak sometimes when you're trying to refill it. It likes to leak out of that. You could plug it with a hole, I guess, or plug it with a stick and then fill it and pull it out after that's done. But we just light the tin, and then take and put the tin right up under your fire lay or your tinder bundle, and just let her roll. And I'd made one with a seashell, and I think it's on Bushcraft USA, but I'd made one with a seashell, and it was raining, and I said, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna pick stuff up off the ground for like 5 minutes, and then whatever pile I have, I'm gonna see if it'll start it. And I had like solid 4-foot flames coming off of this thing, and everything was soaked, but it burnt very well, and I got probably a half an hour at it or so. And when I was done, I just retrieved the seashell, just like you can retrieve this tin after you're done. I would imagine you could, it'd be a mess though to try to redo, but if you got it lit and got it burning good and realized that you had used as much as possible, you could probably put the tin on it and snuff it out. But I don't know how hard it would be to go from a halfway burned one. Maybe that's something that we need to try, versus just letting it burn all the way up in the fire. But anywho, this is the little fire starter that I duplicated from NWPrimate. If you're not following him on Instagram or any of the other social medias, he's got a good YouTube also. Check him out. He was doing this with resources from the PNW, and I wanted to see how similar resources here would act in the same scenario. And I think he got more time. He got 40-something minutes out of all his. I think mine were just shy of that, 40 minutes, high 30s. But anywho, pretty cool, simple, refillable. Check it out. All right, guys, thanks. Feel free to like and subscribe. I got some fun stuff coming, but right now I'm trying to upload content on my other phone, and my internet is still stupid, so I'll just have to deal with it. But I appreciate the support. Check out my Instagram, bushcraftkelso.com, at bushcraftkelso on Instagram. Yeah, thanks, guys. Later.